Okay, here we go. Let's get going for our final part. Just finishing off these trades. So we're checking in at a bit of a random time. It is day 47, a few hours to close, but it doesn't matter when we come on because we've got no new signals that we're taking. Done with that. So just finishing these off, and the trading stop loss for subtrade B on the CAD yen trade that has been hit. Yesterday it went. We did take 117.96 total, so that's pretty good. Only marginally over for the gain from what the loss would be. $100 would be lost versus 110 gain. Need to get more of those trading stop losses. If you are running the trading stop loss, that's obviously what you want to see, or you want to see even more. So that's pretty decent. Not enough to get us into profitability. Currently at 9,842, so still just over 1.5% needed if we are to finish in profit. But we have at least got into the pound CAD trade. That is the final one that we set into it yesterday. We went currently $15 down a sub trade, so we got a long way to go for profit. But if sub trade A can take and we can get at least $60 from sub trade B, that account balance is going to tick back above 10,000. If not, we know the strategy is a doomed one. So let's keep checking in, see how this pound CAD gets along. Day number 51, and that is it for us. It is curtains. Good night, Venice. Taking a loss on the pound Canadian dollar. About $100 per sub trade, as we know. And you can see the big drop off today. Really knocked through that stop loss. And it does mean we lose the best of 3 on the pound CAD as well. We had a losing trade right near the start of the strategy. Then had a big winner that looked like it was going to carry us potentially back into profit. But now we see the true colours of the strategy once more. Puts the account down 3.5% with our final trade. Not so good in the end. Not so good in the start either. Let's see how it looks in a completed journal. Here it is then, our last journal. And not looking good, as we know. You can see it started off red. Euro Swiss franc had to close that down. It went against us. That was a bad start. Got a small winner on the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, but hit a couple losses. That set us back a long way. That pound CAD and pound Aussie came through nicely. But this trade right here, Swiss franc, Japanese yen, that was really damaging. That one went straight away and hit us hard. Never quite recovered from that. Even with a bit of a winner on the CAD yen, that pound US dollar and pound CAD right at the end finished us off, leaving us $355.79 down. Even ended up a loss on the swaps as well, only $4.88, so not a huge amount in it. But still, red almost everywhere. 10 trades in 51 days. We stayed at about that pace for the entire strategy. 1 per week we were getting into. There was a few we put down that we didn't get into in the end. Had to switch them because the price went back the other way. But there was also plenty that we didn't take as well. Even so, I don't think there's any ambiguity about the strategy. It's not going to be a good review here as we give our final thoughts. Okay, final thoughts. Clearly not good enough. Not even that close. Might have looked a bit close to the end, but it seems unlikely it would ever get there. Sometimes a slow loss strategy like the Chaikin crossover can be worse than an awful strategy because the indicator can rope you in mentally with a couple of wins, but it is going to slow burn the money from your account from what we can see. Not a promising strategy at all from the trades that we took. We were a bit selective with the signals though, so you never know. Maybe we just made the wrong subjective decisions and that taking every single trade that comes to you on the Chaikin works out well, but that seems highly improbable to me. My best guess would be that things would only get worse if you took every signal. I think it would get worse if you got rid of the moving average, worse if you started jumping straight into the trades instead of setting that stop order for the extra confirmation. So what could we do to make it better? That'll be left for others to figure out because I don't think it's worthwhile spending time testing marginal variations on this Chaikin crossover. Just quite simply cannot condone it as a strategy or as an indicator, or at least not as an indicator using a zero line crossover. But that's not to say that other signals like divergent signals couldn't be used to get some profits going. We are yet to test those other sides of the indicator. Could be the promised land. We only tested it on Forex as well, so there's a chance it just performs poorly on currency pairs but rocks the world of stocks and commodities. Again, it seems unlikely to me, but if you have got something going on for the Chaikin Oscillator, particularly with that zero line crossover, then do pop the strategy description in the comments with the results next to it, and maybe we'll give that one a test in the future. That is all from us though, but there is more information in the video description if that's what you want. And as always, every trade is made in a demo account so as to live forward test these strategies properly and not get caught losing money on speculative strategies using indicators from times and people who are now gone by. Thank you for watching. This is Project Trade. I am Icarus's Wings, and we will be back.